Remember those golden days of fast food when the drive-through line was shorter, the fries were hotter, and the menu items were full of mystery? Well, get ready to take a trip down memory lane because we're about to dig up 12 fast food menu items that have vanished into thin air. You won't believe what you've been missing. When you disassemble the new Pizza Hut triple-decker pizza, you will discover the following components underneath. In this video, we will delve into the history of Pizza Hut's triple-decker pizza. When it was first introduced in 1997, this pizza was not just any pizza. Rather, it was a marvel with multiple layers that captivated the imaginations of fans during its brief time on the menu. Imagine an extremely thin and crispy crust that is stuffed with an abundance of cheese and 90 pieces of pepperoni. On the other hand, the innovation did not end there. There was another thin crust that was placed on top of this base, and it was ready to be customized with your preferred toppings. This double-decker creation offered an explosion of flavors and textures with each bite, which made it a hit among those who craved an indulgence that was extra cheesy and rich in pepperoni. In spite of the fact that it was initially very popular, the triple-decker was eventually discontinued because of the difficulty in preparing it and the difficulties in maintaining sales. At this point, let's talk about the enchilito, a delightful fusion dish that has been a highlight of Taco Bell's menu for 3 decades. As early as 1970, the enchilito was presented to the public. An inventive invention was made by combining a soft flour tortilla with ground beef, refried beans, and onions. The tortilla was filled with the mixture. The perfect finishing touch was provided by melted cheddar cheese, red enchilada sauce, and sliced black olives, which were placed on top of this savory filling. This resulted in a mouth-watering combination of flavors that were inspired by Mexican cuisine and were both hearty and satisfying. The enchilito was a popular choice among customers because of its reassuring combination of savory beef, creamy beans, and tangy sauce. In a short amount of time, it became increasingly popular and was lauded for its innovative approach to traditional Mexican dishes. On the other hand, the enchilito encountered a difficult journey. After being removed from the menu in 1993, it was reinstated in the year 2000, and then it was removed once more in the year 2013 due to the simplification of the menu. An interesting turn of events, however, is that the enchilito made a comeback in 2022 as a result of a powerful fan campaign. Even though it was only available for a limited time, it demonstrated how much Taco Bell customers who were loyal to the brand missed this dish. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about another interesting item from Taco Bell's history, a salad that was an attempt to bring the elements of the sea to fast food, but ultimately failed. The seafood salad from Taco Bell is now available for purchase. Taco Bell took a bold step in the middle of the 1980s by introducing seafood salad as a means of diversifying its menu with a distinctive offering. The dish consisted of a tortilla bowl that was stuffed with shrimp, white fish, and crab, and it was topped with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, and the traditional toppings that are used for taco salad. It was marketed as an adventurous and tantalizing choice with the intention of distinguishing itself from the typical meals offered by fast food restaurants and offering a novel alternative to the fish sandwiches that are typically offered by other chains. Nevertheless, the journey of the seafood salad was relatively short. It struggled with low sales and supply issues, which were compounded by the fact that there were multiple cases of food poisoning that were reported. Due to the fact that customers were hesitant to consume seafood when it was served in a fast food setting, the dish quickly gained a negative reputation, which ultimately resulted in its removal from the menu. In today's world, the seafood salad is primarily remembered as one of Taco Bell's less successful and more unconventional ventures. It lacks the nostalgic appeal that some of the items that have been discontinued managed to keep. Next, let's shift gears and go back in time to a period when Wendy's made the decision to bring the all-you-can-eat experience to the world of fast food by introducing Wendy's Super Bar, an offering that was well-liked but ultimately unsustainable. As the 1980s progressed, Wendy's Super Bar emerged as a pioneering addition to the landscape of fast food restaurants. There were several distinct stations at this all-you-can-eat buffet, and each station offered a different type of cuisine. The garden spot offered a selection of fresh salad toppings, and the pasta section offered a selection of pasta and spaghetti with tomato or Alfredo sauces to choose from. During the Mexican fiesta, guests were served refried beans, rice, taco meat, and taco shells that were both crunchy and soft. An assortment of chocolate and vanilla pudding was available at the dessert station, which completed the dining experience. The Super Bar was particularly well liked by families and individuals who greatly valued the opportunity to personalize their meals by selecting from a wide variety of food categories. Because of the high costs of maintenance and the difficulties in logistics, Wendy's decided to stop offering the Super Bar in 1998, despite the fact that it was a huge success, managing a wide variety of perishable items and constantly replenishing them them proved to be inefficient and expensive, which ultimately led to the discontinuation of this one-of-a-kind offering. Now, let's move on to a peculiar item from McDonald's history, the hula burger. This item was an attempt to cater to people who did not eat meat, but it did not quite hit the mark. To accommodate Catholics who abstain from eating meat on Fridays, McDonald's founder Ray Kroc introduced an experimental meatless sandwich in the early 1960s. This sandwich was designed to appeal to the Catholic community. This unconventional burger featured a straightforward combination of a grilled pineapple slice and cheese on a bun, offering a flavorful alternative for individuals who are adhering to religious dietary restrictions. But during a crucial test that took place on a Friday during the month of Lent, the hula burger had a hard time winning over customers. Kroc held a competition between the hula burger and the Filet-O-Fish, which was a meatless alternative that was suggested by Lou Groen, a franchisee. In stark contrast, the hula burger only managed to sell 6 sandwiches, while the Filet-O-Fish managed to sell 350. Because of this significant disparity, the hula burger was quickly discontinued, and it was never made available to the general public during its existence. Although it was an innovative product, the hula burger did not resonate with customers of McDonald's. On the other hand, the Filet-O-Fish became a menu staple that has lasted for a long time. This is an illustration of how sometimes simplicity is more effective in meeting the needs and preferences of customers. In the late 1970s, McDonald's introduced MC Onion Bits, a vegetarian alternative to its forthcoming Chicken McNuggets. Let's take a trip back in time to this momentous occasion. After being deep-fried to a golden brown color, these tasty bite-sized pieces of sweet onion were delicious. McDonald's onion nuggets were initially introduced in 1978 and served as a forerunner to the now famous Chicken McNuggets for the fast food chain. The caramelized onions that were encased in a crunchy exterior contributed to the delightful combination of savory and sweet flavors that were offered by these one-of-a-kind nuggets. These nuggets featured chunks of onion that were breaded and deep-fried to a golden crisp. Customers had the option of purchasing something that was both familiar and convenient, similar to Chicken McNuggets. The onion nuggets were discontinued in 1979, just 1 year after they were first introduced to the market, despite the fact that they were intended to be an innovative product with a novel concept. McDonald's executive chef Rene Rend, who was responsible for the creation of the onion nuggets, was given the responsibility of developing a chicken-based version of the Chicken McNuggets. The focus shifted to the Chicken McNuggets, which are about to be introduced. On the other hand, the Chicken McNuggets made their debut in 1983 and went on to achieve a great deal of success, whereas the onion nuggets did not become a permanent fixture. Their presence on the menu has left an indelible mark on the memories of those who had the opportunity to sample them during their brief tenure. The enduring popularity of these nuggets with their distinctive flavor has been demonstrated by the fact that some fans have even petitioned for their return over the course of the years. As we move on, we will discuss another item that has been removed from the menu for several decades but has recently made a comeback: Jack in the Box Monster Tacos. The price of 3 of our delicious regular tacos is only 89 cents, and you can get them all. Since its introduction in the 1970s, the Monster Taco has quickly become a favorite among customers who are looking for a taco that is larger and more filling. Its large, crunchy shell, which was packed with seasoned beef, melted American cheese, shredded lettuce, and taco sauce, offered a flavor profile that enticed customers to keep coming back for more. In addition to being a substantial meal option, the Monster Taco was also famous for its enormous size. Due to low sales and changes in the menu, it was threatened with closure despite the fact that it was very popular. Between the years 1970 and 1980, tacos were available for purchase, and they made a brief comeback in 2013. In 2021, Jack in the Box reintroduced the Monster Taco in response to the demands of their customers. They also added new flavors, such as Bacon Ranch and Nacho, as well as the Angry Monster Taco, which featured a red shell and a more intense level of heat. There was a lot of excitement among its devoted fans when it came back. Please hold on to your forks because we are about to discuss McDonald's latest and improved version of the McSpaghetti, which is an attempt by the fast food chain to incorporate Italian cuisine into its menu. The McSpaghetti, which is our most meaty and cheesiest dish ever, was first introduced in the late 1970s as an adventurous foray into new culinary territory during that time period. The dish consisted of spaghetti noodles that were topped with a meat sauce that took the form of traditional spaghetti and was based on tomatoes. Spaghetti noodles, beef or pork, tomato sauce, and a sprinkle of cheese were some of the essential components of the dish. Because it was adapted to the preferences of the locals, the sauce, which featured a combination of meaty richness and a hint of sweetness, became especially well liked in the Philippines. Despite this, McSpaghetti had a difficult time gaining traction on a global scale. At the beginning of the 1980s, it was removed from the majority of markets due to the low sales it generated and the difficulties that were associated with serving pasta in a fast food environment. Maintaining consistency and speed in preparation proved to be challenging, and it did not align well with the brand image that McDonald's had previously established. Despite the fact that McSpaghetti did not become a staple food around the world, it is still available in certain locations, particularly in the Philippines. It is clear that McDonald's is willing to experiment with a wide variety of flavors and cuisines, as demonstrated by this dish. Following that, we will discuss the new Frisco Burger, which is a classic from Hardee's that offered a unique take on the conventional burger. We are pleased to introduce the Hardee's Frisco Burger, which is a grilled sourdough bread that is topped with a hearty quarter-pound burger, melted Swiss cheese, sizzling bacon, and sliced tomatoes. Hardee's Frisco Burger was a part of the thick burger line, which offered larger, higher-quality burgers. It was first introduced in the early 2000s. Served between two slices of toasted sourdough bread, this burger featured a quarter-pound beef patty that was topped with crispy bacon, melted Swiss cheese, fresh tomatoes, and mayonnaise. All of these ingredients were sandwiched between the two patties. A flavorful experience was created by the combination of the smoky bacon, the creamy Swiss cheese, and the juicy beef. The Frisco Burger quickly gained popularity among Hardee's customers, particularly appealing to the demographic of young men who are both hungry for food, which is the target audience for the thick burger line. In spite of the fact that it was initially successful, it was eventually done away with because of low sales and efforts to simplify the menu. Despite the fact that the Frisco Burger is no longer offered, the flavors and gourmet twists that it featured can be found in other items on the Hardee's menu. This ensures that fans will continue to have access to a variety of enjoyable options. One of the most well-liked side dishes at KFC is the barbecue baked beans, so get ready to reminisce about them. KFC barbecue baked beans were a delicious and reassuring side dish that were first introduced in the 1970s and continued to be popular throughout the 1980s. These beans were seasoned with barbecue sauce, which was then augmented with brown sugar and onions, and bacon pieces were frequently included in the mix. The end result was a flavor that was opulent, smoky, and slightly sweet, and it went exceptionally well with the crispy fried chicken that KFC offers. Because customers enjoyed the delectable combination, it remained popular for a considerable amount of time. On the other hand, despite their widespread popularity, they were taken off the menu because of problems with the supply chain. Considering that the beans had become a standard accompaniment to KFC meals, this decision left a lot of fans feeling dissatisfied. As we delve into the history of Pizza Hut queso bites, you should get ready for things to get a little more exciting. Queso bites, which are mini potato bites topped with cheese and a hint of jalapeno, were introduced by Pizza Hut at a price of just $3.99. In the decade of the 1990s, Pizza Hut introduced a product called Queso Bites, which feature a delectable combination of cheese and jalapenos. These bite-sized snacks had a flavor that was cheesy and had a hint of spiciness, which made them the ideal complement to the main offerings that Pizza Hut has to offer. Jalapeno peppers, mini potato bites, and melted cheese were the primary components that comprised the key ingredients. Almost immediately, Queso Bites became a favorite among customers who appreciated the one-of-a-kind flavor and spicy kick that they offered. Their removal from the menu was ultimately brought about by low sales, despite the fact that they were very popular. Fans of this spicy treat have been left with a noticeable void as a result of their absence, although the precise timing of their discontinuation in question is still unknown. A significant number of customers have voiced their dissatisfaction with the removal of Queso Bites and are expressing their desire for their return. The memory of these cheesy, spicy potato bites continues to be a favorite among many people, despite the fact that Pizza Hut has not yet reintroduced them. Now, let's dive into the history of McDonald's MaxDLT, an innovative menu item that separates the hot components of the burger from the cold ingredients until you are ready to consume it. This allowed the hot components to remain warm while the cold components remained crisp. The McDLT was a novel addition to McDonald's menu, and it was first introduced in the year 1984. The sandwich was served on a toasted sesame seed bun and featured a beef patty weighing a quarter of a pound, along with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, cheese, pickles, and ketchup. The McDLT was distinguished by its innovative packaging, which consisted of a two-part styrofoam container. This container served the purpose of separating the hot ingredients, the patty, and the bottom bun, from the cold ingredients, the lettuce, tomato, and the top bun, until they were assembled. Due to the design, the hot side remained hot while the cool side remained cool throughout the entire process. "Keep the hot side hot and the cool side cool" was the catchy slogan that was used to market the McDLT, which was designed to provide customers with a more authentic burger experience. Being cool, the McDLT quickly gained popularity by providing customers with a burger experience that was both fresh and customizable. As a result of environmental concerns regarding the use of styrofoam packaging, however, it was removed from the menu in the year 1999. 1991. In the absence of its distinctive packaging, the McDLT ultimately lost its distinguishing characteristic and was eventually supplanted by other items on the menu. The McDLT was an innovative and memorable burger in McDonald's history, and despite the fact that it was not a permanent fixture, it left an impression that will last forever.